Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's Thursday, it's the 7th of September. We've got some new mods and we've got some updates. Quite a few maps and a scary one out of that. The Lintner Unitrack pack by Giant Software has had an update. The map Galgenberg 2.0 by Yogi. That says an update is not required, and it's not an update, a new save game is not required. The map Frontier by Zero Oito has had an update. It doesn't say whether it needs a new save game or not. I'll be honest, there's not... I'll say there's not a huge amount of stuff. Stuff has been changed. I'm not sure I'm going to do the update unless I can work out whether it's required or not. Or like I say, a new save game is required, because if I can do the update and not do a new save game, I'll update it, but because I've done quite a lot of work on that map already. The map Spruce Mountain Farms by Maps by Mako, that says a new save game is required. The map North March by LS Schleswig-Holstein has had an update, and that says a new save game is required. The Lizard Colossus Harvesters pack by Chris S and Riley S has had an update. The Cowshed by Vrosther. The Old Barn package by Farmer 5 Tom, and the Old Grain Mill by Bernie SCS. We are going to have a quick look at the Lizard Colossus Harvesters, because part of that update was tracks and what was it did say? Capacity changes for the Colossus 9000, additional crawler track options for the Colossus 9000, added flat map edition for harvesting large flat maps. It does say though, warning, sell your beat headers prior to updating. So just a warning on that mod. So we're going to have a look at that, and then we'll get on to the rest of the mods. So fairly quickly then, the 9000 harvester, which is that, has had an increase to a 1 million litre tank as an option, ultra unrealistic. Now, I was using this on Carpathian. This goes up to 1 million now. I didn't think it did before, so I don't know whether they both had an update, but jump in this one. That's got a 1 million litre ultra unrealistic capacity now. That one though, its top speed still stays at 43, I think it's. So this one was it 46 it went up to? This one now goes up to a 77 mile an hour. But what's interesting is the headers now, if we go and have a look under headers, we've got our Titan header and then Unreal. The Unreal version still only go up to 60 miles an hour, even though the harvester itself, if I turn now and go forwards, bottom right, 77 miles an hour. So this is the flat map edition version. It goes up to 1,800 horsepower. So if you're on large flat maps and you need to be getting around a bit more rapidly, 77 miles an hour with a 1 million litre capacity, and you can harvest at 60 miles an hour with the headers. Which is awesome. I like bonkers, and I like Chris S and Riley S when they do this stuff. Honestly, awful. I can't even get up to 60 miles an hour. But there you go. If you've been using their stuff, you like their stuff, or you have never seen it before, cracking with brilliant options. So like I say, larger capacity, faster speed, and I'm pretty sure that's had a capacity increase as well. So that's the Lizard Colossus Harvesters pack by Chris S and Riley S. Back to the mods for today. Fancy a bit of plinking? Bit of target practice by Grubby. The target, 0.32 megabytes download, 1 slot on console. These are, I mean, they're decorative. We don't have shooting, archery, anything at all in game, so you can put them down as a decorative or a storyline feature or whatever it is you want to do. You could stick them out at various different distances out if you want to do a bit of the older long range shooting. By all means, go ahead. Under build mode, under decoration, under others, 30 for each target. Slot count is 1 anyway. Stays at 1. That's the target by Grubby. Next we've got these. These are the temporary grazing pastures by MrFarquar. These are pretty cool as well. I like these because of the price. They only hold 25 animals each. We've got a grazing cow pasture and a grazing sheep pasture. You will still get wool if you've got sheep, and you'll get milk if your cows are of the correct age, they are producing milk, etc. Now, what the point of these being, yes, you know, grazing pastures and pastures for putting your animals out have been in game for a while, but I like the fact the price is quite low. It gives you the option then, if you're going to separate out your animals, when you have new births, newborns, and you want to separate your calves out maybe, it doesn't become an expensive proposition, which, like I say, this is one of the reasons why I kind of like this. 0.4 megabytes download. The cow one is 3 slots, holds 25, 100 to buy, that's all. The sheep one is 4 slots, will hold 25, also 100. Under build mode, under animals, the cow one just out there, slot count comes down to 1. And then if we go along to our sheep, temporary grazing pasture of sheep, again 100. So you can put a few of them out, you know, and you can move animals between them or whatever you want to do. I mean, like I say, the pastures thing isn't a new thing, but I think the prices are brilliant. Water in, feed in, dialogue box, milk point, then dialogue, water, feed, wool pallets. Lovely job. The temporary grazing pastures by MrFarquar. Next we've got the metal shed. Metal shed is by Pelican. It's 5.07 megabytes download, 1 slot on console, 15,000 to buy. It's a metal shed. Nicely detailed. No lighting. Under build mode, under sheds. Third one in. Slot count comes down to 1. Again, fairly straightforward. The metal shed by Pelican. Next we have got, now when I said the other day about American Falls and the last of the mods were coming through from Lancyboi, he did say that the barn pack and American Falls, he was going to try and get them out onto console, and then that was it. So this is the American Shed pack by Lancyboi. 25.05 megabytes download. We've got 6 in this pack. We'll have a look at them in the mod hub first, or in the mod hub in the build mode, and we'll sort of do what I usually do, we'll look at them on the ground at the same time. So each of these has the option for colour change as well. So for 60,000 and 15 slots we've got the American Barn, which is this one here. Next one along is the Barn, 90,000, that's 9 slots. Next one along is the Open Air Shed, 90 grand and 16 slots. Then we've got the Shed, which has got a porch section on the front as well, 85 grand, that's 10 slots. We've then got the shed, which is 90 grand, that is 9 slots. And then finally, if we come up from there and go along to our tools, we've got the barn garage, 250,000 to buy. Slot count that is 47, which comes down to 2, as you can see. Now if I, for example, click on that one, you'll see over to the left hand side we've got colour option, and we can scroll through various different colours when you're ready to place. Then just place when you're happy. Rotating around, toggle snapping on and off, so we can be more smooth with it if you want to. So first up, you can only open this door by going in through the side door first, which I've taken the liberty of already opening. Shed lights on or off, open gate, single opener at the front. As always, as I've always said with Lancyboi mods and sheds and buildings and everything, really nicely made, really nicely detailed, nice animations, nice sound effects. That's the first one. This one's got a door at either end. Where was the light switch on this one? Oh, this was halfway up, I think, around here somewhere. There might be one over by the door actually. There we go, shed lights. Depends which way around you put the building. Side door. This one is the open shed. Again, door at either end. I guess predominantly for storing things like bales and things to allow air circulation but stop rain pouring down on top of them. Again, shed lights on and off. Then the shed with the porch on the side. Lighting as well. Covered area to the side. Single door in the centre on this one. So sideways on. That landscape rather than portrait, I guess, is the best way of putting that. And then we've got the garage. Garage. Workshop trigger in here. Cones can be moved for bringing vehicles in for repair work. Turn on shed lights. Does the lights on both sides of this, because we go through the side door here. As you can see, it does all of them. We've got a large door on the front here, and then this one to the sides here. There we go. That's the American Shed Pack by Lancyboi. Next, we've got this. This is the Lizard Rear Weight by BlackTiger. I know I've got it on the front. I've got it on the front because I bought something else out on the rear, but this is a rear weight. 4 slots. A few configurations on this. We're going to tools and down to our weights. Out on the end, 2,500 for the base model. Slot count comes down from 4 to 1. So we've got standard, reflector orange on the side. It's actually, I suppose, not necessarily the wrong way around. Orange on the side, red on the front, or both, or off. And then we've got attacher type standard. Hang on, went too far. Attacher type standard or with a hitch. So you can have a 3-point link, so you can attach it onto your tractor and then still have a 3-point link the other side of the weight. But then you can have a hitch on it as well if you want to. Then we've got weight. 1300 kilo, 1700 kilo, 1900, 2300, 2700, 3000, 4000 adds some more weight on the top. It's getting a bit of a chungus at that point. Main colour, anything on that pallet. That's your weights. With all your connectors for your valves, etc. on there as well. Front or rear, wherever you've put it. We can manually raise and lower it. And tilt, but then we can also lift the weight automatically, raise and lower, like so. There's no option for adjusting that hitch, that stays where it is. So that's the Lizard Rear Weight by BlackTiger. Next we have got the Lizard TP520 and TP520R, which are these things just here. Now, these are interesting, something a little bit different. So the TP50, don't know why I turned it off. The TP50 is a cultivator. I'm not sure if you can find it in Discover as well. We'll have a look. But it's a cultivator, but it's a drag one, as you can see. So bringing it backwards and forwards to the field, you'd be dragging it along behind you. Then you can fold it, but it still drags. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. And then the R is a roller, which we've got over there, and I've got that one already folded, and I'll show you how you should transport it to the field. How you transport it is entirely up to you. But if we go from here up to rollers first, so the TP520R is the roller, 4,200. Slot count on both of these is 4, which comes down to 1, 5.2 metres wide. Options on this, we can change the main colour to anything on that pallet. Then we come out of there and we go up to our cultivators. So our cultivator TP520, 4,200. Slot count comes down from 4 to 1, 5.2 metres, 90 horsepower required. Same options for colour choice, anything on that pallet. I will just double check under, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just under it's cultivated. It does the same job. So when we come out and we get in it, L1, R1 on PlayStation controller, Left stick to the right, no, sorry, to the left, puts it away. Now, it puts it away, but it will still only allow me to travel at 12 miles an hour. And if you look at the ground behind, oh, it's not doing it now, because it's still technically on the back and it's still being dragged behind. If I do it again, L1, R1, and go across to the left again, it does that, which rolls the whole thing up into that position. If I disconnect now, it puts a chain across the top. That chain across the top allows you to do this with either one of them, whether you've got the roller or the cultivator, so you can hook out with anything with a hook. You can pick up with big bag handlers, things like that, stick it on a trailer, bring it out on the trailer, and then hook it back up again, take it off if you want to. I'm trying to think if there's any attachers that go onto a 3-point link that have got like a hook. There are probably adapters. You can go from 3-point to a wheel loader or telehandler tool, so you could probably do this off the back of the 3-point link to transport it like that. So if I just disconnect that now, and then the tractor can back up and it can hook up to that one. But we'll go back to this one here and I'll show you the cultivating first. So if I hook back up, L1, R1, left stick to the side and then back again that way. Nice sound effects as well. Shallow cultivator. As you can see. I love the way that is really following the contours of the ground as well. Brilliant. So that's the cultivator. And then the roller. Now the roller can either be used, it depends how you want to go about it. If you want to go for a really smooth seed bed before seeding, you can use the roller. Or if you want to get a bit of a bonus after you've done your seeding, you can use the roller and you get a 5% bonus for rolling. So what I'll do now, L1, R1, left stick to the side and again unfolds it. Now it's in rolling mode. There you go. So there we go. That's the Lizard TP520 and TP520R. I didn't say who it's by. I'm so sorry. That's by Holzs FS. 5.93 megabytes download for those two. I just went straight onto it and forgot the important bits. Holzs FS. Next, we've got the Claas Torion 1177 and to 1511. This is by PowerausdemOsten. It's 6.87 megabytes download, 14 slots on console. It's a wheel loader. You'll find it under wheel loaders. So slot count on this one, 14 comes down to 1. So we've got the 1177 140 horsepower. We've got the 1410 at 155 horsepower, and then we've got the 1511 at 167 horsepower. We've got the option for Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein. Knock-in just has that option. All of the others bar one have got a standard and a wide. Apart from BKT. BKT's got a standard, a wide and a communal, which was what I went for just because it looks a little bit different. Vredestein, and as I said, knock into that. Exhaust, we can have it on as it is at the moment. It's on stainless steel or black, so you've got those two choices, stainless steel or black. Main colour, we've got Claas green or black. Then rim colour, we've got red, black or grey, like silvery grey, and license plate option on there too. Jump in, start it up. Horn, lights, L1, R1, left stick side to side opens the door. From in cab, right stick side to side opens and closes the side window. So from outside, okay, the window's open just a little bit there. Not much else about that one. Interior's nice and tidy. That's the Claas Torion 1177 to 1511 by PowerausdemOsten. Next we've got the JCB 220X Excavator by RossN mods. Just here. 46.13 megabytes download, 12 slots on console for the excavator. Then this comes with 3 buckets. The buckets are 1 slot each. I've only got one of them here, but I'll show them in the buy menu. Where am I looking for? Miscellaneous. Under miscellaneous, the excavator is 190 grand for the base model, 173 horsepower. Slot count comes down from 12 to 1. We can have no beacons. We can have yes with an amber beacon but no strobes. We can have yes with strobes, which I think puts them on the rear. There you go, on the back there. I'm not sure if it puts it in the front. Is it in the front? I think it's just in the rear. Or off again. And then we've got the option for green beacon, yes or no. So if I take those off completely, you can just have the green beacon if you want to, or amber and green, or none at all. It's entirely up to you. And then we've got main colour, anything on that palette at all. Whatever you fancy. And then grid colour, as you can see the grids on the back there, the grates, we can change the colour of those to whatever takes your fancy. No option for tracks or anything like that, changing the colour of those. We come out of there, and then we go to our tools and miscellaneous. We have got the trenching bucket. Like I said, these are all 1 slot anyway, aren't they? Did I say 1 slot? Yeah, they're 1 slot each anyway. So 9 grand, 1,250 litres, no options. You just get the trenching bucket. The general purpose bucket, 10 grand, 1,250 litres as well. They take pretty much everything, so you can shift all sorts of stuff around. I still think playing on Frontier, the fact that we've got dirt on there now and sand that can be moved around, I think that should be a base game thing. Dirt, so that you can use these sorts of things, so you can have a hole, you can fill it with dirt, then you can then simulate excavating. I know we don't have that option on console to do that, but I think that would be a cool thing to have. Anyway, just putting it out there. And then the grading bucket, they're all 1,250 litres. The grading bucket is slightly wider, and it is designed for that grading, for dragging as well as lifting, and because it's got a wider thing to it. 11 grand, slot count was 1 anyway, and takes pretty much everything. So I've only got the general purpose bucket on here. So we jump in, start it up. Beacons, I've gone for both, and strobes. Lights. We do have, where are we? Right, stick up. Oh, hang on, no. Where's my door option? No. Oh, there we go. L1, R1 and right stick side to side to open and close the door. Interior, nicely detailed. Our options for view, we have interior and on the boom. So, L1 and right stick up and down and side to side. R1 and right stick up and down does the whole fluid movement, so it does all of that in one go. Then if I want to go up and down with it, that's the separate movement with the side to side. And then L1, R1, left stick side to side, I can control the bucket like that. And as I've already shown you, right stick side to side does the door. So it's a combination of all of it together, up, down, drag it in, bring the bucket, then pull the whole lot back up for our control. Now, this does also have a hook function on the buckets as well. That's why I put another one of those out there. Another one of the cultivators. So if you do want to pick stuff up, there we go. Whoa, it didn't do that a minute ago when I tested it. Okay, that was weird. Why did it do that? Anyway, regardless of that, I like it. That's the JCB 220X Excavator by RossN mods. Which brings me on to the last of the mods for today. And it's this. This may get an update. You might have already noticed, but I'll show you in a second. This is the Case IH Magnum Series 2018 by KarlFarms. 35.19 megabytes download, 20 slots on console. It's a very nice looking mod. There are a ton of options for tyres, as you can see, with various different widths, row crops, tracks, quad track option, but the quad track option may require an update. Let's hop in and I'll just spin you around a second. Look at the track the other side. Let's start it up, because I got this one for the thumbnail. For oh, that's I love that. I love the look of that. And then I drove it, and this happened. Now I'm sure there was a tank or something designed years ago that did that for getting up and down and over obstacles and things like that. I'm pretty sure this isn't supposed to do that. It did start off with both the tracks in the same orientation, but then did that. So yeah, potentially avoid the quad track version for the time being. I didn't actually check the single track. I might have to do that in a second. Anyway, it's still a lovely looking tractor with a load of options. So, large tractors out on the end. 260,000 for the base model. So we've got the power shift, and we've got variable transmission at 320 horsepower. Then we go up to 350 horsepower, 380 horsepower, 410, 435 is the highest it will go up to. We've then got the option of Trelleborg, Lizard, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, Trelleborg. And Trelleborg we have got back to standard. Lizard, cool. That's the one. Or did I go for quad track wide? I think I might have gone quad track wide. Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT, back to Trelleborg again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for, I'm just going to grab one of those, because I'm curious to see whether that rear track will do it with this, or whether it was just on the quad track version. Then we've got beacon light options, so we've got none, left style 1, right both, then onto style 2, left, right both. Fenders, we've got front and rear, just rear, none at all, back to front only. We've got windows, tint, regular, light, dark. Extra lights, yes or no. Put some into the windscreen actually, which kind of obscures your view a little bit, but that's where I put them. We've then got rear wheel weights. Ah, that's a point. Hang on, let me just go back to that. So if we go for rear wheel weights, we got no, we got design 1, design 2. If you've gone for tracks or you've gone for twin wheels, it puts those weights on the inner wheel, so you won't see them on the outer wheel. And if you've got tracks, it won't put them on at all. So I'm going to back up then and put that back to that. We've then got in-cab monitors. We've got none. We've got a field viewer. We've got precision planting, precision and field viewer, real dashboard, field viewer and real dashboard, and none. I think I went for that, field viewer and real dashboard. Attachers, we've got standard. Oh, it's on the back, sorry. We've got standard, quick hitch, back to standard again. Then flashers, we're on standard, which is the US version. We've got EU, which puts the side boards out, or none at all. Front attachments, we've got none. We've got 3-point link with PTO. Then we've got weight rack, weights, rock box, none. Main colour, anything on that pallet. Design colour does the seat. So you've got cloth or leather. You've got it in red, black, grey, white or brown leather. Can you imagine going for white cloth or white leather in a tractor? Oh, I suppose they do. Some cases have them, I suppose. And then rim colour. On this one, just on the front, but it depends what you've gone for. Anyone on that pallet? I almost forgot to buy it. Or lease it. But I've got the single row track. Let's hopefully this doesn't. No, so this one's working fine. I don't know why the quad track did it. So that's working okay. So it could just be the quad track. It may be if you get the quad track, it doesn't do it at all. But as you can see and as you can hear, it runs really well. Sounds good. Horn. Lights. And what I'm going to do, because I went for the extra lights on this one, top in, start it up. I just wanted to check the tracks on that one. There we go. So extra lights if you've gone for the extra lights on it as well. Now we do have fold tractor, so if you've gone for the US version, fold tractor puts the stalks away. If you've gone for the EU version, it will put the boards in or out. Unfold. We've got R1 and right stick up and down. So it starts off like that, if you see inside the cab. R1 and right stick down, puts the steering wheel down and puts the armrest down. L1, R1, left stick side side, hang on, zoom out a little bit, left stick side side, rotates your seat. So from in cab, like so. L1, R1, right stick side side, does the door. And then right stick up and down, does the rear window. Oh, it was those monitors I went for. So there we go. Very nice indeed. The Case IH Magnum Series 2018 by KarlFarms. And that's it for the mods for Thursday the 7th of September. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.